Welcome to Carrington, the home of Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long 24 hours of sleepless days and nights trying to get here. I told you I was on my way to paradise, and here I am, glad that the man above has said, Webb, get there and bring every story firsthand as it comes through. Now, where I am right now is the road leading to Carrington, the home of Manchester United's training ground, and in just about 10 minutes on that road is the Carrington training ground where Erik ten Hag was earlier on today speaking to the media about our team news before we do take on Tottenham Hotspur just 2 days from now. Guys, the temperatures here are as low as 5 degrees Celsius. Now, for a guy like me who is used to the hot weather, this to me is freezing. My hands, I'm not sure I'll film the entire video. My hands are literally freezing. As you can see, I'm smoking smoke out of my mouth or steam, whatever you call it. But that's what you go through to bring a good story about the beloved club. Well, let's go to Carrington, guys. Take a walk with me. If you're patient, I'll get you there. I told you, well, United is preparing for Spurs. The game will take place at Old Trafford, which is about 15 minutes away from here, right that side. This way is Carrington, the training ground. Now, Carrington is positioned in probably one of the coldest places. As you can see behind me, those are just empty green woods behind all over. So players here feel every pinch of the cold when they come to train. Probably that's why it gets hard, especially when it's winter. And in a few days, I'm told it's going to get icy. It's going to get icy. You're going to be seeing snow in here. I trust it will be okay for some of the players, but you feel for players like Andre Onana, who come from Africa where we don't have this kind of weather. This is the challenge you go through as a player joining a club like Manchester United. But that's why they are paid millions and millions of pounds to play the game. But anyway, I told you here on the United Hotspur, we mean business this year, and here I am. So walk with me, guys, as I talk to you about what Ten Hag said earlier today in the pre-match press conference. The big update was that Lisandro Martinez, and he said this with his mouth, that Lisandro Martinez and Amad Diallo and Casemiro are back in training and they will be in contention for a place against Spurs. Now, for me, that's a huge boost. Clap your hands if you can. I can't. I've got one hand. One is warm, the other is freezing, holding the phone. But yeah, I mean, that's big news for Manchester United, considering that we've been missing these players for so long, and there were doubts about whether they will be available because they had said earlier on that the plan was to not to rush them. We hope they are fit enough to be on the pitch, because we certainly have been missing Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez for so long. Well, that's security right there, headed to Carrington. But anyhow, don't mind it. Focus on me. By the way, I hope I chance on a United player here. You know, but anyway, I'll be at Carrington. It's about 5 p.m. by the way, but it's already dark. But it's just 5 p.m. 5 p.m. in Uganda and Africa is always light and all. But you know, when it's winter, it gets night. It gets dark, you know, quite faster. But these are all empty fields. That's why the cold here. There are no buildings to shield it. So you can imagine if you're training in this temperature, it's 5 degrees Celsius. How difficult it is. It will get negative in a few days from now. So this is the hassle you go through as a player from Africa to come and make money at the biggest stage, and people think it's just a walk in the park. It's not easy, guys. So feel for players like Andre Onana, guys. You've got to understand them a bit. Honestly, it's no excuses for Andre Onana. Now, speaking of excuses, now Erik ten Hag in his press conference today was defending Anthony. He was asked about Anthony and his poor form, and he was defending him, saying, you know, the off-field issues affected his performance. Before that, the first season at United, he performed decently well. And before the issues with the girls who were accusing him of rape and all those charges, he was a decent player. That's according to Erik ten Hag. But the off-field issues affected him and his performances for Manchester United. Now, not many of you might want to hear that, but Anthony is back in the squad though, and he will be available again for selection against Tottenham Hotspur. But the fact that Erik ten Hag can come out and defend Anthony, why doesn't he come out and talk about certain other players as well? And I don't want to meet, guys, I'm losing my hand. It's freezing. It's freezing. I don't even know how to hold this phone as I make this video, but that's the hustle. That's what we signed up for with the United Hotspur. Now, so Erik ten Hag is defending these players, talking about how in the first season everyone was telling him Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, Anthony. I don't know who was praising Anthony in the first season, to be honest. Yes, whereas his first season was a little better than what he has been doing lately. Oh, guys, My hand is freezing. Let me pocket it a bit. Just pardon me for the quality of my video here, guys. I'm a one-man army, but anything to get you a story. Just listen to my voice, man. You don't want me to lose my hand just because I'm holding this phone, man. It's freezing. It's freezing. I need to pocket it a bit. So Ten Hag has been, defending players, saying now that they are back, that his senior players are back, it's so difficult to play for Manchester United. Players who had a good first season have been struggling in this second season because it's so difficult. He said he did not want to mention names, but he said playing for Manchester United is more difficult than playing for any club. And the reason is because Manchester United, unlike most other clubs, Manchester United has got the biggest number of supporters globally, but also the passion that Manchester United supporters have is something different. Look at me. I came all the way from Africa just because of my love of Manchester United, for the love of the club. So you can imagine the love the supporters of United have. So it's so difficult because they keep demanding. I need to watch where I'm going. So fans keep demanding. I think I've warmed it up a bit here, I think. Let me try. So fans keep demanding for results. So it's so difficult to play for this club, but it's an opportunity for any player, and any player will embrace it, even if they don't perhaps think they are good enough. But for as long as United has come for you, even if United came for me, you see, I'm passing via Carrington now. I'm heading to Carrington now. But if they told me if I look like I'm a baller, because I know I have ballers' legs, if they called me and just jokingly told me to play for United, trust you me, I would sign that contract. I would sign that contract because it's an opportunity for anyone to play for Manchester United. So Erik ten Hag was saying, it's so difficult. That's why we need to feel for these players. And you love to hear it. You love to hear a manager who is backing his players and his signings but the thing is, right now is not the time for excuses. We are taking on a Spurs that beat us in the first leg. We are in a period of transition. I'm here because I do want to follow every bit of this transition. I'm going to camp here in Manchester for the next couple of days, weeks, months, years if I have to. I'm going to be here to follow this transition of Manchester United with Sir Jim and his team and see what exactly they do. So in this period, we don't want to listen to excuses. And more so, Erik ten Hag told us himself that when his squad is back and full, we should be demanding for results. Now, results are what we are going to be demanding for, starting on that game against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. That's just about 10 minutes away from here. I'll be there. I'll bring it to you. But good news, Amad Diallo is there. I'm hoping I get to see him play in this game. Later on, of course, I'll tell you about my preferred starting 11 probably tomorrow. After going to Carrington and watching a bit of the training and seeing what exactly is going on. I do hope there will be a last training tomorrow. I'll go there and get to know the program. But regardless, I'll give you my preferred predicted starting 11 for this game. But the pre-match press conference, I think, did not really, I think with the exception of him confirming that Amad Diallo as well is back and him saying it with his mouth, and Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro, the rest I gave you in our video. That was yesterday from Addis, where I told you all the team news. Luke Shaw is back. Christian Eriksen is back. So it's by and large a full squad. I think even Victor Lindelof could be back. So it's by and large a full squad for Manchester United. So let's hope, guys, the training the boys enjoyed today, that way, Carrington was good enough for us to get a good result against Tottenham Hotspur. That game will be at OT, which is that way. And here on the United Hotspot, we'll be following everything to the latter. Guys, my hands are freezing. I'm freezing, guys. Bye. Subscribe, fam. I'll catch you later. Let me just jog to Carrington, guys. Let me just jog to Carrington.